Welcome to Dump Truck Toolbox. I'm Alan. We're going to be talking dollars and cents today on the wisdom of buying a used dump truck. If you're a regular on the channel, you may know that I'm a former professor of business, most recently at the College of William & Mary. And then I returned to the transportation industry just a few years ago. And I bring, hopefully, a unique perspective on some of the big decisions that you can make as an owner-operator or as the fleet manager for a hauling business. Based on my experience, my training, and some data, I have an extreme position on buying a used dump truck. Let's talk about it. I've created a budget simulation for a hauling business. It allows us to compare and contrast different decisions that you could make in building a dump truck business. One of the consistent themes out of the budget simulation is that older trucks ultimately are more expensive because of the increased maintenance cost. Newer trucks are better, and brand new trucks under the manufacturer's warranty are the best in terms of profitability and long-term growth of the value of the business. Here's the data that I started with to show the maintenance and repair costs by age of the vehicle. Dump trucks are represented by the purple line, and there's some data adjustments. There's a 5-year warranty for major repairs, which keeps the cost lower early on. Costs have gone up as time has gone by. So I adjusted all that data to get us the red line that we see here. The data here really reflect buying a brand new vehicle and owning it until the point of salvage. It does not necessarily reflect buying a 5 or 10 or 20-year-old vehicle and then experiencing these maintenance costs. I'm going to tell you why. There's a bias in almost every analysis of the maintenance and repair cost over the life cycle of heavy equipment, and that bias is survivor bias. And so, how does that work? Well, this picture here might help illustrate it. So we've started off with a fleet of 42 vehicles. As the years go by, certain trucks will be taken permanently out of service because they are garage queens. That is, they have continual maintenance and repair costs that come up. So those trucks come out of service. Some of them are used for parts, and every transportation company I've worked for, whether it's transit buses or hauling businesses, you keep around 1 or 2 older vehicles that are really not fit to go out on the road, but boy, is that a cheap way to get a fender. Some of them are just declared salvage. You sell them for scrap, basically. Parts trucks, salvage vehicles don't really impact you if you're in the used dump truck market. But some of those garage queens are sold into the used dump truck market. And that's what you may end up getting if you buy a used dump truck. I want to tell you the story of my first job as a dump truck driver. I was hired by an owner of a small hauling business, had 4 trucks. 4th truck was getting overhauled, and he wanted to line up a driver to take over that truck when it came out of the garage. But as I understand it, the truck was about 20 years old. and it had a major engine overhaul and a few other things done to it. And they spent somewhere in the range of $45,000 to get this truck back on the road. I get to the end of my training period, and basically, I'm like, where's my dump truck? And so after a few weeks of sitting at home, anxiously waiting to get my own truck, I get the news, hey, it's almost done. Great. I touched base with the general manager. He said, yeah, well, yesterday was a pretty bad day. I had all these things happening, and then I went to pick up the truck, and on the way home, it overheated. You're probably thinking what I was thinking. Wait, you just spent all this money on a truck. Why is it overheating? Eventually, the Volvo technician with the right skills and equipment looks at the truck and concludes, yeah, there's something wrong internally. Can't tell you what it is from the codes. We're going to have to pull the engine back out of the truck and start disassembling it to figure out what's wrong with it. The owner of this small hauling company made the correct decision to cut his losses and say, no, I'm not going to spend more money just to find out how bad the problems are. Decided to do something else with that truck. I don't know what. Regretfully said to me, I'm sorry, Alan, you cannot keep on as a driver. We don't have enough trucks. So the moral of this sad story is be careful when you buy a used dump truck. It may look great. It may pass all the inspections. It may cause your pulse to accelerate. Ask yourself, though, am I buying a garage queen? This survivor bias in maintenance and repair costs can show up in a second way when you buy a used dump truck. Fleet managers and owner-operators are going to hang on to the more reliable, lower maintenance cost trucks. Even if you don't have a catastrophic failure of an honest-to-goodness garage queen, you may have overall higher maintenance costs. What that will do is, if you're using the conclusions coming out of my Dump Truck Toolbox budget simulation, the results, the conclusions are going to probably be even more clear about the financial value of a brand new dump truck under the manufacturer's warranty versus a 5-year-old truck, a 10-year-old truck, or a 20-year-old truck that you purchase used. If you're going to pursue that path and you're going to buy an older truck with honestly an unknown maintenance record, make sure you have the cash reserves. Don't fall into the simple view that, oh, I can save money by buying a less expensive truck, buying a used truck. My advice is save up more money. If you want to pull the trigger on that used truck, go ahead, but have the cash reserves for that big unexpected rebuild of the engine and transmission, or redoing the axles, or 2 or 3 things all at once. Or take that extra money you've saved up and use it to buy a brand new truck. If you found today's information useful, click the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I've got some other content coming out on the purchase of a dump truck. This is Alan. I appreciate you joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon on the Dump Truck Toolbox.